the Tour de France is the most iconic race in cycling. Everybody knows Greg LeMond, Eddy Merckx, or Peter Sagan. Non-cyclists will scream Lance at the local weekend group ride. The men have this huge stage with broadcast coverage shown all around the world. For women's cycling, it is so important to have their own version and to have their own stars. With the start of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift in 2022, we've seen from the last 3 race editions that if you create the opportunity, people will come out to support it. Fans, sponsors, media, broadcasters, and even a pet or two are involved, all vying to see their favorite stars of women's cycling, to make sure that they have the best equipment and support for this arduous event, to capture the historic moments that pepper each day and each edition of the race, to show the world these moments so that they too can be inspired by the incredible women of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, to make a more equal world, one pedal stroke at a time. So many teams in the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift have their own stars, but few are as starstruck as Team Lidl-Trek. This heavy-hitting European-American team has its bases around the world, with the Trek factory in Waterloo, Wisconsin, and Lidl stores born in the heart of Europe. Lidl-Trek has 7 riders selected for this year's edition. Off the line, we have Lucinda Brand, an all-around incredible athlete.
And I'm the team captain, so I keep an eye on everything, more or less.
A 4-time world champion of cyclocross racing, and a strong time trial and general classification contender. Then we have Ellen van Dijk, a one-day race champion and a powerhouse TT specialist. She is going to show us just how strong she is on this year's time trial and classics stages. At 22, Shirin van Anrooij is the team's youngest rider. Shirin represents the next generation of women's world tour. She is a rising star in the cyclocross world, as well as a spirited climber. This year, her eyes are set on winning the Best Young Rider competition. Gaia Realini is the team's next youngest rider at 23. She is Lidl-Trek's climber and GC specialist, claiming countless top 5 spots in youth, mountain, and general classification of the minor tours. This year, Gaia has aged out of the Best Young Rider competition, but strives to show her talent in the general and climbing classifications. Another big name on the team is Elisa Balsamo. She was 2022's World Road Cycling Champion and is one heck of a sprinter. This year, she is sprinting for the points classification. Next is Amanda Spratt, a 3-time champion of the Tour Down Under. She is an incredibly well-rounded racer and an expert at hill climbs and one-day races. Last but certainly not least is Lizzie Deignan. Lizzie is a master of the Spring Classics, winning the Tour of Flanders, Strade Bianche, and the first ever edition of Paris-Roubaix Femmes avec Zwift, or colloquially known as the Hell of the North. This is building up into one hell of a team. We catch Lidl-Trek before all of the chaos of the week, bonding and getting team pictures taken.
Wait.
Yeah, for me too.
It's still going. Good more.
So if I don't have enough, I stop.
Yes, before you only can dream about how cool it's gonna be to start in home crowds, but they were so amazing. There were so many people.
Stage 1 brings success to the team, with Elisa finishing in 3rd place on the final sprint, making her 3rd in GC as well as 4th in the points competition.
No, I'm happy. It was a question mark for me about my shape and my feeling on the bike.
On stage 2, she finishes 5th and moves up 1 place in the points competition. Gaia and Lizzie try their best but miss a key breakaway, finishing 40 seconds down on the lead peloton.
For sure it was not easy in the sprint without a lead out, but we were here with 2 GC leaders, so the team needs to take care of them.
And we said that the 2 young ones, they're going to try to go as high as possible. You see, if you're good and you ride for GC, then the young leader will come. So
The team decides to push for Shirin to get the white jersey as the team's only under-23 rider.
It's always pretty special to feel that everyone's like supporting you and trying to protect you. It also brings some extra nerves and pressure because you really want to perform.
After finishing in the pack on the first 2 stages, she will need good results in the time trial and climbing stages, where gaps easily appear.
Yeah, in those hillier stages, it's a lot just to keep them together. In the front, safe. All little things that can save a little energy in a week, it ends up.
After stage 3, Shirin is in 3rd place for the Best Young Rider competition, with the white jersey almost within reach. Another good finish on stage 4 brings her up to 2nd place, right behind Queen of the Mountain leader Puck Peters. Because a category leader can only wear 1 jersey, Shirin dons the white on a technicality. She is elated. With the whole team finishing high in the peloton and Elisa Balsamo's strong points results, Team Lidl-Trek secures the medals in the best team competition, overtaking EF Open Cannondale.
This team, everyone is here to try to help each other and take care of each other.
As the race transitions from the flat stages of Rotterdam to the hills of Belgium and finally onto the Alps of France, each rider will test their mettle on these increasingly difficult climbs, often taking heavy physical and emotional tolls on the athletes. Even Lidl-Trek's climbing specialist Gaia Realini is not immune.
Oggi è stata un'emozione un po' diversa. Vedere anche mio padre che era lì a tifarmi e sinceramente non sono riuscita a trattenere le lacrime.
Yes, I'm really tired. I know that today is going to be a really hard stage, but it's also the last one, and then I know that I can go home.
Yeah, so far I'm actually really happy about how this tour went. Gaia and me were both just really protected the entire week. Feel like we need to do like something back for the team. I would hope to see where I can get on L'Alpe d'Huez and maybe move up a bit.
This year's edition of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift ends on some of the hardest climbs in cycling, but it is where Gaia shines the brightest. Unfortunately, she is unable to make up for points lost in the Queen of the Mountain competition, but she can make up so much time in the general classification on these climbs. And Gaia does exactly that. On the final stage, as Demi and Cassia are battling it out, Gaia is right there in the mix, flying up the Alpe d'Huez. She finishes just 2 minutes down on the GC, landing her a 5th place in the biggest bike race in the world. Lidl-Trek keeps their medals and 1st place for the best team competition as the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift finishes atop the Alpe d'Huez.
Enjoy!
Yeah, I did, yeah. Okay, it was definitely.
Lidl-Trek is a serious team that works well together. Each member with their own specialties pushing the others to be stronger athletes, which, as we've seen, elevates the team as a whole. But I think what's really interesting about cycling is things rarely go to plan. It's not always the most deserving or strongest who wins a race. There are so many factors that can affect the outcome, especially a long stage race like the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. There's weather, nutrition, crashes. There's team dynamics and so many challenges that can be out of the rider's control. That means you have to celebrate the wins. Not just the big wins, but the little ones. You need to set the small goals and the big goals will follow. Those little celebrations, little victories, the little moments where you smile, laugh, and are proud of what you or your team is accomplishing. Those moments are so powerful. Ultimately, there are going to be headwinds along the way. There are going to be challenges that really test your mental and physical fortitude. But knowing that you're in the process of achieving something great, knowing that this is only the beginning, it's huge. With the 2024 edition of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift now behind us, we only have the moments we captured in our cameras, in our hearts, and in our minds. The cacophony of fans, athletes, and announcers, the smell of frites and beer, the cooling rain after the scorching stages, all coalesce into a reason to keep training, to keep pushing for more opportunities, for more moments which push us even further. It all starts with embracing every single moment.